Greetings everybody and welcome to another episode of Building with Fret. This is episode number 14 in the series, I do believe. How's it going today? Hopefully you are doing well. I am doing good myself. And today, it's a big day in the world here today. It's time, finally, to mess around with some minecarts. That's what we're going to kick things off with today, and connect some of our various areas in the world together. I've been thinking quite a bit about how I want to do this, and I've decided that I want to build a little minecart entrance right here at the end of this path. So there's the storage room, this is the furnace area, this is going to be the minecart area. And initially I was considering building it over here, but then later we built this. So it's a good opportunity to reconfigure that. But obviously to kick things off, we're going to need some space. So let me make some space. Okay, so I've carved out some space here so that we can start our minecart project. I also filled in that section over there and polished it up. Likewise over here. This is going to be our new minecart tunnel entrance. And what I'm going to show you how to do now is how to make a booster. If you are playing along with me or playing in alpha here, you're going to want to know how to do this because it's very, very useful. And what I have here already built is I have a minecart track. This goes to my destination. That is the hostile mob farm down there. And I've just built a track that curves here, but it's otherwise just a straight line. There's a slab at the end of it. That's so that the minecart stops. And this is where it's going to start. I've just put a slab down wherever you want your minecart to start. You can put a slab or a full block or something down. I just like the look of that. And let's build a booster together then. So to start with, wherever you've got it, your little start point, I always like to have at least one rail here. This will be where the minecart we sit in goes. Then dig out a trench next to it. You can do different sizes. I recommend 4 by 2. So you get a little dip like this. Connect your rails to wherever your destination is going to be on the first line. That's the first part done. Now the second part is going to be... Oops. Is going to be like this. I messed that up. You run the rails just like this, and you go up, you go around again, and then get a temporary block, something like dirt, place it above that rail, place another rail so you get like this circle effect, then break the dirt. That is your first minecart booster. Now you might be curious how this works, so let me show you. This is a self-resetting booster. Not all booster designs reset. This one is one that does. That means that when you've used it, it goes back to its default start position, which is very useful. Some boosters that do not can have practical applications. That would be a two-way booster, for example. So let's say this was a really long line, and I had a booster in the middle, and I was riding both this way towards that and back here this way. You would want a two-way booster. We'll talk about some of those probably in the future. This is just a simple one that does reset to get started. This is ideal for just getting to one destination, or you know, it's just generally simpler to work with. You know, it's a good launch point booster. So you place your booster cart in there, and you place your regular minecart that you're going to ride in on here, and just give the minecart a little nudge. Oops. Little nudge, get in, and off you go. It's as simple as that. And this is a very short distance, so it's going to have no problem whatsoever getting me to my destination here. This is much faster than walking. As you can see, I've got the beginnings of another booster set up here. I may change that a little bit. Now, there are ways you can speed this up, and I want to share with you a technique to do that. I'm probably not going to keep it in my booster here, because it's only really useful if you're wanting to travel a very long distance. Let's say you've got a journey of maybe 500-600 blocks, or maybe more. There's a little trick I can share with you which helps a ton with those kinds of scenarios. What you need to do above that first minecart that you placed is place a temporary block and some dirt above it. I'm going to need to go grab some iron to make another minecart. Okay, there we go. We've got another minecart. You place this minecart on top of the temporary block and the rail there, and break it. This will now stack 2 minecarts together, and you get a double booster. Same approach. Nudge the cart a bit, go down, and you will get much, much more momentum from that. It still resets in the same way. You don't have to do anything any different, but this will enable you to go much further. I don't have a rail line to show you that, but trust me, it does. And that is how you build a very, very simple self-resetting booster. I'm going to be making these all over the world here as I try and connect things together. In the future, we'll probably expand upon this concept with some of the other ones. You might want to build a booster, for example, if you're going uphill, because you can lose momentum quite quickly going uphill, so you might want a top-up booster going uphill. For very, very long distances, like I said a moment ago, you might want to do a 2-way booster, and we might look at some of those concepts in the future. But if you're just getting started, this is a great way of doing that. So you've seen the single booster and the double booster, the self-resetting. Feel free to replay the video if you're stuck, but hopefully that helps you. Now I'm going to get to work on connecting up the other end and expanding upon this. It occurred to me that I'm going to need a lot of sand for TNT, and I did remember, after initially thinking I was going to have to go and collect some sand, that I might have some sand left over from when we made this river project over here in my little work area. Nope. Nope. Yes! Perfect. Well, I'm going to take as much as I can carry here. This will definitely be enough sand for what we need. I'm glad I remembered this. It has been 2 months since, or probably more than that, since I've been over here, but I do remember that I had some sand over here. All this wood, too. That's very handy. I'd actually forgotten about that. I'm going to take as much as I can carry. I'm going to have to come back here at some point and definitely, like, empty this out. What do I have in this one? Oh, look, there's a stack of TNT in there. I'll do you a trade. Let's see. I'll take the stack of TNT with me. And there's some smooth stone in here. A little bit of moss stone. Yeah, nothing else is supremely useful. The clay is pretty nice. I have to remember that this is here, and the iron. I'll probably want that, actually, for rails if I run short on iron. Very nice. I'm going to make this into TNT, and then we can start making tunnels to the places that we need to get to. So, I have 3 stacks, or almost 3 stacks of TNT now, and I'm going to use this to start clearing out a path in this minecart tunnel. Our base is down there. This is the hostile mob farm right here, and we're going to build towards the passive mob farm area. I am about halfway now through mining out the tunnel. I had to resupply on TNT, and I made some new tools. I had a lot of fun, for sure, digging that tunnel. I was hoping that I would avoid the water. As you can see, we're at the passive mob farm right now. But unfortunately, I did hit the water a couple of times coming out from the base there. Hoping to avoid that moving forward. Now I'm going to dig the second half of the tunnel, which goes from here at the passive mob farm to the branch mine. Alrighty, here we go. So we've made it to the branch mine now, which means the minecart tunnel is complete. That took quite some time, but now we have a traversable passage all the way from the base to the branch mine here. The next step is going to be to make a bunch of rails. and lay them down from one end to the other. Just wanted to share with you, this is the iron I picked up from the tunnel on the way back. I managed to get 2 stacks and 38. Not bad at all. That will certainly help in making rails. I'm going to cook up a bunch of this iron now that I have here and make rails and lay rails. So I have finished placing the tracks from one end to the other, and I have set up a double booster here. I added the minecart back, going to make a couple of extra minecarts for the other end, and we're going to ride this and just see how far it can go. I needed to make a few extra rails in the end. I didn't get quite far enough. We're going to make another 2 minecarts. I have the rails I need already. Yeah, I was about 6 stacks short. I have 42 left, so about 5.5 stacks short. So I came back and made more. Well, need to give it a little nudge first. And off we go. Hopefully I didn't leave any gaps in the track. So a double booster of that length gets us to just before the passive mob farm from the base. We're just about to stop here. We could make the booster maybe a little bit longer, and that might give us a little bit of an extra boost to get us the rest of the way here. But otherwise, this is about as far as it can go right now. And that's okay, because we're going to do the stations at each of the checkpoints, and that will give us another boost whichever way we are going. So we will have a station at the hostile mob farm. That will give us the extra momentum we need to get to here. Then we will have a new booster that takes us from here onto the branch mine and then back again. So yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. That was pretty successful, I would say. I'm going to set up another little booster and head back. You are probably wondering what this monstrosity is right here. So based on what we worked on before, we built a very basic minecart station. I have expanded upon that now, and I have created this station here. This is a demo of what we are going to build underground. And this is a 2-way minecart station. This is the rail like what we have in the tunnel underground. And this will provide a boost whichever way we are going. And let me kind of show you a little bit more about this and how it works. So, to start with, we have this central section in here. This is where we would ride to. Then we have 2 buttons on the wall, either side, and we have 2 pressure plates. Now, in order for the cart to be launched to give us a boost, for the minecart booster to launch, 3 requirements have to be met. The wood pressure plate has to be active, the stone pressure plate has to be active, and the button has to be pushed. So, for example, if I'm coming along here in my minecart and I hop out, well, the wood one will be activated, the stone one will not. In a booster scenario, it would be a bit further like this. Now, if I'm sat in the cart, both pressure plates are active, and then I can push the button and go. The reason for that is just in case I happen to get out and accidentally push the button, nothing will happen. I will not lose my cart. Both have to be activated, and the button has to be pushed as well. Now, we could add signs to this to indicate which direction we're going in and where it goes to, but I think that's a good fail-safe. I also can't launch it if the stone one is active, say I'm stood on it, but there's no cart there, or anything like that. It's a good fail-safe mechanism. So let's just say for a second I'm in here, I push the button, the minecart booster triggers, and we go on our way here. And then it recycles itself back into the system. This was pretty challenging, actually, to come up with a solution that would only use one rail and could boost us either direction. So now we've looked at the redstone circuitry a little bit for this, and this is how it goes onto the roof here. This is just an AND gate. It goes up to an AND gate. This is a torch tower inverter, so that we could bring the signal up here. It goes to an AND gate here, which then powers these two AND gates, which then go off to each of the directions here. So this is another AND gate. This one operates this booster, and this one operates this booster. Now, if we look at the redstone down there, depending on which button it is that gets pushed, so the button on this side goes up to this one, and the button on that side goes up to this one, turns this torch off, but it also has to meet the requirements of both of these pressure plates being turned off. This is the first AND gate. That's how that works. Now, once we have reached that point and we've decided which way we're going to go, how does the actual minecart technology behind this work? So what I have here is I have door launchers. This takes advantage of a real interesting quirk in that you can have a solid block with a door above it, but if the door gets powered, and this has to be an iron door, it cannot be a wood one, then it will allow the cart here to pass through and activate this one. This is a double booster, how I showed you to make before. This is a booster that just goes down and resets. It sends the double booster off. That's how we get a boost through here, and then it goes back into its receptacle. Now, because this is a two-way and it uses the same rail line, what I've had to do is I've had to design the rails in such a way that one goes up above and the other goes down below, so that they can not get in each other's way. We've had to take advantage of that vertically. And we've got a setup here where this is where the cart comes out. So if it's been fired from that side, it will come down here, up through there, go out the other side, and then it will hit this turn and go up and then back in. Quite simple. Now if we fire it this way, well, it's after that turn. So it goes through here, up that way, and it goes around, and then it hits this point and it goes down. And then it goes down and back up and into its receptacle up here. This is a single cart, and the way that you would build this is you have the iron door facing that direction, 2 blocks, a block, a block, a block. So you've got 3 vertical rails. You put a block over the rail there, and then you have the iron door that keeps this in place until it receives a redstone signal. You could use a button for this and just have a manual trigger. You don't have to do a pressure plate like I have. The reason I wanted to do that is just for the multiple conditions to be met, and this will launch a booster off for you. Now this would also work if you had a cart here and you just wanted to get in it and sit in it and you wanted to launch yourself. That would also work just fine. It's just that I wanted to create a double booster and launch myself from an already existing station here. This took quite a few hours actually to figure out, with all the redstone element to it and then figuring out the minecart boosters. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and implement this. This needs to be introduced in 2 areas, the 2 middle stops. So the hostile mob farm and the passive mob farm both need this design, and then a smaller version of this design at each of the 2 end stops, the base and the branch mine, because at both of those we do not need to go both ways, we only need to go one way. So I'm going to go ahead and work on implementing that, and then we can look a little bit more at how exactly all of this works. So here it is implemented in our tunnel here. I spent a long time digging out that tunnel, mostly with TNT, and then built this, what you saw in the previous clip there, outside in my little tunnel here. And I can show you now how it works. So we can hit the button there and we can go. This booster will take us on to the first station here, which is the hostile mob farm. And we rest here. And now I have a choice. I can go forward to the passive mob farm and the branch mine, or I can go back. This is a 2-way. That's what's so good about it. It self-resets, so I don't have to do anything more. I think this is a really nice piece of functionality. I have stations at each of the major places. And I also wanted to show you something else I did a little bit off camera. While I was working on this tunnel, I went over to the branch mine quite a bit, and I have been working over there. I wanted to give you a little update on that too. So yeah, we can go this way. And we can go this way. It's a bit of a journey though, so I'll come back when I'm over there. And here we are at the branch mine stop. Right at the end of this minecart tunnel here. And I wanted to share with you a little bit of what I've been working on in the branch mine here. Now that I have quicker access to this, I've been able to use it a little bit more. The time saved on travel is about 2 minutes. Normally it takes me about 5 minutes walking the tunnel to get to here. Now it only takes about 3 minutes in minecarts. That's a big time saving. I think I've shown this on camera before, but I don't do it too much because it's just a branch mine. I have been working on polishing this up and doing a lot of mining in here. And this design is that pinwheel style design. And it's every 3 blocks for each tunnel, and then you have one in the middle on the row above. And the reason I have done this design is it's very, very thorough in gathering all the possible resources from each of the branches. You don't miss anything. Even blocks that might appear in corners or up above or things like that, you see absolutely everything. And it has been paying off quite handsomely, because I now have 47 diamonds in here, which is really good. I have about 1.5 stacks of diamonds total now between the diamonds here and the ones at the main base that direction. And the more I keep doing this, whenever I find free time, the more diamonds I'm going to be able to get. So hopefully we can switch over to diamond tools permanently. That's what I would like to do, and that will hopefully speed up the building projects quite a bit. That was one of the reasons I built this tunnel out here, was so that I could use this more. And the side effect of also getting plenty of that is plenty of iron. I've pretty much replaced all the iron I used on making the rails by digging these. I got a bunch of gold as well, a ton of cobblestone, which will come in handy for building. You can see my various broken tools and things that I've saved in here. So yeah, that's kind of something else I've been working on. I didn't include it on camera because I didn't think it was very interesting. But if you want to see the design of how I've done this mine, we start here at Y5, and it goes up, I think, to Y18 is the highest level. So there's a stair, and then one in the middle. And it kind of staggers backwards like that. And this is something I'm going to continue to add to as I do more and more mining. I've got some dirt here for planting and growing trees if I need it. Kind of got a mini base out here almost. But I think that is going to do it for today's episode. Working on that minecart tunnel was quite a big task. It was a lot of effort to clear it all out and make all the rails and everything. But I'm really pleased that I've finally been able to get that done. It helps with me getting around the world a lot easier. And hopefully now we can really get into some more creative building projects. That's one of the challenges to overcome in this world, is the logistical ones, right? So I have to plan things out a little bit, put minecarts and boats into different places to be able to access them more quickly. I appreciate you watching today's episode, and I will see you again in the next one. Take care. Have a good one.